To the big story of the day, of course, is the debt ceiling. Some Republicans praising Speaker McCarthy's work on getting the deal done, but others are questioning his speakership. For more, let's welcome in commentary editor for the Washington Times, Kelly Sadler, and St. Louis radio host Christopher Arps. Thanks for being with us. So some Republicans who voted against the bill, they're questioning Kevin McCarthy's job as Speaker. Here's what Colorado Congressman Ken Buck had to say about it.
I think he should be concerned. I'm not suggesting that the votes are there to remove the speaker, but the speaker promised that we would operate at 2022 appropriations levels when he got the support to be speaker. He's now changed that to 2023 levels plus 1%. That's a major change for a lot of people. And so after this vote, and he will win the vote tonight, but after this vote, we will have discussions about whether there should be a motion to vacate or not.
Chris, I'll start with you. I think there's so much divide in Washington, even within parties. And I just wonder if that's the right move because, we're going into this election season and that would be the narrative for all of the media outlets, all the fighting going on in the Republican Party, trying to remove Kevin McCarthy when so many other things need to get done.
Yeah, I think that would be irresponsible right now to remove Kevin McCarthy as Speaker. Look, this was a big victory for him. It's not everything that Republicans, conservatives want in this bill, but it's a big victory. And I think what it shows is that Kevin McCarthy and Republicans can govern, they can lead, they've passed major legislation, and I would like, instead of seeing Republicans carping against each other, let's unify like they were to pass the original bill so that we can use these gains for next year to increase our margins in the House, increase our margins in the Senate, and possibly win the White House so that we can create even more gains in the next Congress with a new president.
It's a great point. There's also this, too. We know that Republicans have the narrow majority in the House, but it's about to get even smaller. Utah Congressman Chris Stewart is going to resign due to his wife's illness. So, Kelly, we wish him well, of course, and his family. But if you're Kevin McCarthy, though, in the House Republicans, does this worry you that you're possibly going to lose one of your seats?
Yes, it actually does. He only has a 4-seat majority, and then you have the problems that George Santos has in New York as well. So I mean, you've got to if you want more change in Washington, you've got to win the votes, right? You've got to win races, and the Republicans narrowly won the House in 2022. And in 2024, we need to win more seats, period. If you want big changes, you got to have a bigger majority. And Kevin McCarthy I don't think his seat is in jeopardy at all. Republicans are fussing and mussing about this, the conservative ones, because they want to fundraise off of it. They want to say that they voted no, that they wanted bigger cuts. And quite frankly, McCarthy knew this. Tom Emmer knew this, who was doing the whips. And the Democrats, they knew that they were safe having the Democrats come over and help them pass this through. Kevin McCarthy got 149 Republican votes. He promised 150, so he was one shy. I'm sure he's a little disappointed with that. But the margins, he knew the margins were always on his side with this, and that the Democrats in the White House, when they came to an agreement, would help him whip the votes needed for passage.
Yeah, it's all about compromise. Chris, so there's going to be a special election in Utah. Do you have any idea, who could potentially replace him?
I don't, but I did a little research when I heard about this, and supposedly this is a very reliable Republican seat. I think the congressman won it last in 2022 by 30 points. So I think that Kevin McCarthy doesn't have to worry about losing this seat to a Democrat. He may have to worry that he may gain another Freedom Caucus member that could give him some more heartburn, but I think this seat will reliably stay Republican.
Yeah, most likely to do that. Florida governor and presidential candidate Ron DeSantis in Iowa pushing his message for his run to the White House. And he didn't hold back on Hunter Biden while campaigning in Iowa. Let's listen here.
We have an administration committed to kneecapping American domestic energy production. We have a bureaucracy that has been weaponized. There are two different sets of rules depending on whether you're a member in good standing of elite society. If Hunter were a Republican, he would have been in jail by now, and we all know that's the truth.
Kelly, back to you. Do you agree with Governor DeSantis' comments there? The roles would be reversed. If it was a Republican, would the story be a little bit different?
Absolutely it would. Ron DeSantis is 100% correct here. Hunter Biden, there's numerous things that you can nab him on. Not registering as a foreign agent while collecting, millions of dollars from Ukraine, from China would be the number one thing. But he also has gun, possession charges that could be brought on him. Listen, there are dual standards of justice if you're a Republican versus a Democrat, and Democrats seem to get away with everything. I mean, we're seeing this with the DOJ right now. Senator Grassley and House Leader Comer basically have requested that the DOJ, that the FBI basically produce evidence or a document to them. They subpoenaed the document that shows that Joe Biden had some foreign bribes and that they were to open an investigation. We don't know what came of that investigation. Nothing has come of that investigation. This DOJ has slow walked it. Merrick Garland doesn't seem intent on pursuing any investigations into the Biden family. And now you have Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, who basically told these two lawmakers, you can come over to the FBI and see a highly redacted version of this document. This document is not classified. It should just be presented to, the lawmakers that are requesting it, that subpoenaed it, whose job it is to oversee the bureaucracy.
Yeah, Comer said, no way. I've seen redacted documents before, and this is not what I want. So we'll see how this plays out. Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin joined the Chris Plant, the Right Squad here on Newsmax. He has a theory as to why President Biden is running a second term. Take a listen.
Congress in the Intel Committee, we have the right to know who these whistleblowers are. We have the same protection, and they can have the same protection from us as they get from the FBI. We have whistleblowers that come in all the time. We have been asking for that. Who are these individuals that you're trying to protect, and what is it that they're trying to say? I actually have to get a little bit more political, I actually have a theory here. I think the reason why Joe Biden is running again is to protect his family. Nothing else makes any sense.
Chris, I haven't heard that before. What do you make of that?
Sounds plausible to me. I also think he's running again because they think that he's the only one that could possibly beat Donald Trump because he did it before. I mean, just think about this. You have a FBI whistleblower that has allegations that the current president of the United States, former vice president, has taken bribes. And the mainstream media and the Democrats are just whistling past the graveyard like this is no big deal, whatever. Yeah. I mean, it looks bad just on the appearances that they won't release the document. If the president has nothing to hide and this is no big deal, then release the document to Congress.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Just release a document. Chris and Kelly, thank you so much. We'll see you again in the next hour.